What's going on YouTube? This is Owen Dowell here, and today I'm actually going to be making a video on a little Zippo tip. This is the black matte Zippo that one of my viewers actually sent me. I haven't carried this Zippo in a while, so I wanted to go ahead and start carrying it again. But one thing that I noticed is that the insert is quite loose. I can pull it out with very little effort, and that doesn't seem like a bad thing until you start to play around with the Zippo. The more that I kind of open and close it, do you see what's happening? Do you see how the insert was riding up there? The more this happens, eventually it's going to start rubbing up against this part of the lid, and it just kind of becomes a little bit, you know, it's just kind of an annoying thing that happens. You know what I mean? Especially when you start feeling the lid rubbing up against this the spark wheel here. That's kind of obnoxious. You really, you know, people really like it when their Zippo inserts stay flush and down with the body of their Zippo. And so what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be addressing that. You'll notice I've actually got a couple of coins here. I'm going to be using those. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be taking the insert here, and you'll notice on the bottom we've got this kind of a groove here. I don't know what this is really called, like kind of a bump. The purpose of these is to keep the insert snugly inside the case, so that way when you're inserting in and out, you get a little bit of resistance there. But sometimes even that doesn't quite fix it, so what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the insert and I'm going to be trying to make that a little bit more effective. So in order to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flint out first of all, so we don't lose it. So take something like a penny here and just unscrew this. All right, so there's that, and I'm just going to take the flint out. Flint's a real tiny piece right there. I'm going to set it right in this groove so that way I don't lose it. All right, and then I'm going to take the little cover here off for the lift to fill. So I'm going to take that off. All right, and now we've got this. So there's the packing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this coin right here, which is a dime. All right, basically, you can use a dime. You can use the smallest coin in your currency if you're an American. You can also use pliers to do this. Just be very careful with pliers. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to make this bottom piece here a little bit wider. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the dime. I'm going to insert it like this. And then I'm going to twist, like so. All right, you see what that did? You see how we kind of widened that a little bit? Let me get a little bit more of an effect on that. Just kind of keep twisting. There we go. You see what I'm doing there? You see how I'm kind of shaping this a little bit to be a little bit wider. You can also see in the reflection there, there's a little divot right there. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. You can see how that fits. Oop, hold up. Now it sinks in a little bit. That's because I don't have the flint screw in. In fact, if I want to keep this realistic, I could go ahead and put that back in just for argument's sake. There you go. So now if I go ahead and put this in, it'll stop at a reasonable position. And that already feels like quite a lot tighter. That actually feels pretty good, really. If I go ahead and play with this a little bit, you'll see that it's riding up a lot less. Do you remember how high up it rode up before when I was doing that? Yeah. Still rides up a little bit, as you can see. If I push down, it sinks in, but it's sunk in very little as opposed to before. And boop. Cool. So that's pretty good, actually. I think I might widen it just a little tiny bit more. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let's just try that out. I think this is probably going to be where I'm satisfied. Yeah, you can see that's doing a lot better than it was doing. If you remember before how loose that was. Pull that out. And yeah, I can even feel when I'm pulling it out, there is a fair amount of resistance. on there. So that's good. That is good. So, yeah, once you're happy with that, just go ahead and take the Zippo, put it all back together. I'm just going to take the flint screw, take it out. Now, when you're putting the flint back in, one thing you want to make sure, if I can get it to focus here, you want to look for the side that's been struck. So you see how this side is kind of dull? That's the side that's not been, the striking wheel was not hitting that side. You see how it's kind of dull? The other side is a lot shinier and kind of chromatic. That's actually the side that's been throwing the sparks. So you want to make sure you put that side facing down, so that way it's the side that goes against the spark wheel. Like so. This flint's getting kind of small, so it's going to be a little hard to put in. There you go. Make sure you got in there. Then you want to take your lift to fill cover and put it in. Put it back there. All right, and then take your flint screw and screw it down. Cool, and if you wanted to, you could leave this hand tight, or you can take your penny and you can tighten it back up a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead and just tighten it up just a little bit, just so that way it doesn't come undone. And there you go. Go ahead and take this, put this back together, and bam, there's your Zippo. It's got a little bit of a more firm insert, so now when you're playing around with it, you know, just walking around, maybe playing around with it like in your pocket, or I don't know what you do when you're fidgeting with it at your desk, the insert will not ride up on you as much. So yeah, that's just a quick tip for those of you who have Zippos with annoying loose inserts. And yeah, make sure that this thing will still spark. Might need to go backwards a little bit. There we go. Very, very cool. So thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Hopefully this is a little bit more useful than the one that I made quite a long time ago. And that one I was just a little bit rambly, so try to be a little bit more direct and to the point. You might be seeing, especially down the line, I'm planning to remake quite a few of my videos. Just some videos that I made in the past that I think I can make a little bit better and maybe a little bit more, you know, watchable versus back then when I was kind of rambling and kind of like, I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and adios.